At least one Avenger seems pretty sure to break ranks and take sides with Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday. If you don't mind some probable spoilers, we'll tell you who it is, and how we know. Just to be clear, here's your warning. The likely spoilers start now. We won't lead you on here. It's Doctor Strange.
Prove it.
Okay, sure, it may sound a little weird if you haven't read the 2015 Secret Wars comic series. By all indications, the follow-up to Doomsday, 2027's Avengers Secret Wars, will be an at least somewhat faithful adaptation of the comic. The story in the comic involves Victor Von Doom stealing the power of the Beyonders to rule over Battleworld, a patchwork planet made up of the remnants of various destroyed realities. And Doom's most trusted advisor on Battleworld, at least for a while, is Stephen Strange. If it sounds like we're starting at the end, well, we are. It's unlikely that Doom and the Avengers will get to Battleworld until the very final moments of Doomsday, considering that's the setting for Secret Wars. But there's plenty of reason to believe that Doomsday will set up Strange serving as Doom's right-hand man on Battleworld. Not the least of which is some Doomsday concept art posted to ArtStation, and then quickly deleted by artist Mushk Rizvi. Kevin was surely not happy to see it posted publicly.
Please stop.
But we've seen it! And now you have too. The art shows Doom in white, hooded robes sitting on a throne. This is almost definitely him ruling over Battleworld. He looks exactly like God Emperor Doom from the comic. To the right of Doom are Sue Storm and Franklin Richards, who he makes his own wife and son in the comic event. And to his left is Doctor, or perhaps Sheriff Strange, standing by as Doom casts judgment on what looks to be some unlucky prisoner. So, what are some of the ways we could get here? Let's explore. Benedict Cumberbatch's name wasn't on the back of one of those director's chairs during the Doomsday cast reveal back in March 2025, and Cumberbatch himself has been pretty coy about whether he'd come back as Doctor Strange in the film. He has confirmed it'd be in Secret Wars, but in multiple interviews has been wishy-washy about a Doomsday appearance.
Will you be back in Avengers Doomsday after all?
I wonder.
Maybe he legit didn't know which movie he was shooting scenes for when he shot them. But also, come on, he's in it. We've already seen that more actors that were initially announced are returning for Doomsday, and, well, there he is in what's been reported to be Doomsday concept art. On top of that, Doomsday has been said to serve as a direct sequel to Avengers Endgame, and there's definitely a Strange storyline from Infinity War and Endgame that the Russo brothers could follow up on, despite a whole Doctor Strange solo sequel coming out in the meantime. Before he gets snapped away at the end of Infinity War, Doctor Strange uses the Eye of Agamotto, aka the Time Stone, to see over 14 million possible outcomes to the battle with Thanos.
How many did we win? One.
That one scenario thankfully turns out to be the way things play out. Thanos snaps half the universe away, the Avengers carry out a time heist to recover the Infinity Stones from the past, the Hulk undoes the effects of the snap, and Tony Stark sacrifices himself to finally defeat Thanos and his army. After his return, Strange indicates to Tony that this scenario is the one success he saw. Well, before any of that plays out, Strange does something that seems at cross purposes with the hero's goals. He willingly gives Thanos the Time Stone, saving Tony's life, but enabling Thanos to perform the snap and wipe away billions of lives in an instant, including his own. But it makes sense in hindsight. In the one future where the heroes won, Thanos got all the Infinity Stones and had to be defeated the way he's taken down in Endgame. Tony had to live until it was time for his sacrifice. It initially seems like Strange is doing something confusingly reckless, but ultimately he's helping. So the question is, what if something like that happens again? The Time Stone gets destroyed by the end of Infinity War, and then again at the end of Endgame. Doctor Strange definitely doesn't have it anymore. It's gone! But there are some reasons to believe that he might have had or will have a chance to peer into the possible futures involving Doctor Doom. First off, we don't know everything that Strange saw in the 14 million plus scenarios he scanned through. It's entirely possible, maybe even likely, that at least some of those involved Doctor Doom. And maybe he saw pretty well into the future of one successful scenario.
Got it. No pressure then.
There's also the new development that comes at the end of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, his third eye. In the movies, it's the result of Doctor Strange's interactions with the shadowy spellbook, the Darkhold. But in the comics, it's a physical manifestation of the Eye of Agamotto. We don't know what abilities exactly the third eye will grant him in the MCU, but in the comics, it represents a higher level of consciousness, enabling him to break illusions and see his enemies' true intentions. It's not too far-fetched to believe that he could use the third eye like he did the Time Stone and peer into the possibilities. And maybe what he finds is that, much like he had to give Thanos the Time Stone to help the heroes win, the only way to save the day is to join forces with Doom. MCU Phase 4 took a lot of flack from fans and critics for seeming like aimless wheel spinning. People didn't love the multiverse stuff, it seemed, and a lot of what it set up had to be scrapped with the decision to throw out Kang and the next big bad as a result of the abuse allegations against actor Jonathan Majors. But at least one movie from that phase, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, may turn out to be more important than it originally seemed. Not only does it introduce Stephen's shiny new third eye, but it also hammers home a key concept: variants of Doctor Strange who go rogue in their home universes. First, there's the Doctor Strange from Earth 838, the Illuminati universe. He ended up being executed by the Illuminati after he admitted to accidentally causing an incursion, the destruction of another universe, in an attempt to defeat Thanos.
I'm sorry.
And then there's a variant who fans have started calling Sinister Strange, the one who was so messed up over the rejection of his universe's Christine Palmer that he started using the Darkhold to dreamwalk constantly. He created an incursion that almost destroyed the entirety of his own universe. He notably has a third eye of his own, and the 616 version of Stephen only just defeats him in spell combat.
The Darkhold exacts a heavy toll.
616 Strange has to use his sinister counterpart's version of the Darkhold to make the Scarlet Witch see the error of her ways in her quest to be reunited with her sons. He develops the third eye as a result of the Darkhold's corruption, which means he's not as different from his sinister counterpart as he wanted to believe. The MCU has never directly adapted comic stories, even when films have been named for them. Civil War was pretty wildly different from its comic source material, for example. But everything we've seen about Secret Wars so far indicates more similarities to the original comic than we've typically seen before. So it may be fruitful to look back at how Strange wound up advising Doom in the comics. Doctor Strange had been a member of the comics version of the Illuminati from the group's inception, helping guide the plans for things like sending the Hulk to space. He remains involved when the Illuminati start encountering incursions, even making some purposefully happen in an attempt to save their own universe. In fact, it's Strange who wipes Captain America's memory when Steve begins to object to the Illuminati going down that path. After more and more incursions take place, the Illuminati eventually resign themselves to Earth 616's destruction. But Strange joins another group, the Black Priests, becoming their leader in hopes of stopping them. With them, he learns of two groups pushing forward the decay of the universe, Doctor Doom and the Beyonders. The Black Priests, all except Doctor Strange, get defeated by yet another faction. Strange is brought before Doom, who convinces Strange to join his cause by arguing that he alone is trying to save the multiverse. So, Strange teams up with Doom and an army of molecule men to defeat the Beyonders and take their power. Battleworld is born as a result of that effort, and that's how Doctor Strange ends up as God Emperor Doom's chief advisor and sheriff. Is this how it will go down in the movie? Almost definitely not. At least, not exactly. There's no indication as of now that the Beyonders or Molecule Man are part of the Doomsday or Secret Wars films. It's more than possible other reality-altering forces will create Battleworld, but we can at least take away a basic framework. Doom thinks only he can save the multiverse. Other heroes may be skeptical of that claim, but Stephen Strange has a track record of breaking away from his friends when he thinks there's a better way of doing things, even if it's risky.
From our experience, the greatest danger to the multiverse, it turns out, is Doctor Strange.
Spoiler alert though, God Emperor Doom gets pretty mad when Sheriff Strange suggests he's afraid of Reed Richards and kills him in Secret Wars Issue 4. Doctor Strange finally gets resurrected when Reed and Franklin Richards rebuild the Marvel Universe. We'll see how long he lasts through the movie. It's also probably worth noting the long history that Doctors Doom and Strange have together in the comics. Doom has always had a bit of a fascination with Strange. a practitioner of the mystic arts himself. Doom both respects and is jealous of Strange's position as Sorcerer Supreme. In Doctor Strange issue 57 from 1982, Doom even considers becoming Strange's student before ultimately rejecting the idea. One of the most revered stories in Marvel history is in the 1989 graphic novel Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment by Roger Stern and Mike Mignola. Both Strange and Doom participate in a sorcery contest, which Strange wins. As runner-up, Doom can force Strange to honor a request, and that request ends up being freeing the soul of Doom's mother, Cynthia, from hell. Strange reluctantly agrees and has to take quite a risk to make it happen. It initially appears to be a double cross. Doom offers Strange's soul to Mephisto, the ruler of hell, in exchange for Cynthia's. Mephisto takes the deal, but the revived Cynthia is so disgusted by Victor's betrayal of his traveling companion that she renounces Victor as her son. As a result, she redeems her soul, becomes too good for hell, and goes to heaven. Doctor Strange, who gets freed thanks to a small device Doom handed off to him, wonders if the outcome was Doom's plan all along, or is just a happy accident. In a more recent story, Doom finally gets something he's wanted to take from Doctor Strange for decades, the title of Sorcerer Supreme. In the 2024 Blood Hunt event, Doom helps Strange and the rest of Earth's heroes fend off a vampire invasion. Doom says he just needs Stephen's Sorcerer Supreme power to really put the invasion down, and promises to give it back once the world is saved. Doom gives his word, and then it turns out to all be a trick, of course. Doom doesn't think the world is saved once the vampires are all gone. He thinks it'll only be saved once he completely rules over it, leading to the One World Under Doom event.